Are you ready? Stand by.
This podcast is brought to you by Breda USA, Italian shotguns that are the best in the world. And this is a shotgun tech tip from Team Breda. Hey, this is Dave Hartman from the 3 Gun Show, and I'm with Tina Martin-Nims from Team Breda, and we are going to learn about choke selection.
So before you go out to the match, you want to make sure that you have an understanding of how what your chokes are patterned at. So what I like to do is I have my 3 main chokes that I usually use, which is a spreader, an IC, an improved cylinder, and a mod. And I set my targets out at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30. And it's just like a knockover steel and a flipper. And I test to see what those how they perform at those distances with the ammo that I typically use. And so when I go out onto a stage, I already know that at, say, 35 yards, I can use my mod choke and knock it out. And I'll be ready to go.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's your tech tip from Tina Martin-Nims of Team Breda. Check out Breda's B12i 3-gun ready inertia-driven shotgun at bredausa.com. That's BREDA. Hey there, and welcome to the 3 Gun Show. I'm your host, Dave Hartman. If you're new here, our regular Wednesday show is a deep dive into the mindset, training, and techniques of the best practical shooters in the world. What you're listening to now is a Match Recon podcast where we have a shooter run down a set criteria and give you the tools needed to excel when shooting the match that we're covering. I do a lot of these recons myself, and if I didn't shoot the match, I interview one of the amazing people in our community that did. This is the replay of the Recon podcast that supporters of the 3 Gun Show on Patreon got to listen to real time. Patreon is a subscription-based service that allows you, the listener, to support creators like myself on a monthly basis. I can't thank the patrons enough for their support of the 3 Gun Show, which helps me to continue bringing regular, high-quality content to you. If you dig the work that I'm doing on the podcast, on YouTube, on Instagram, etc., consider supporting the show with a few bucks each week at patreon.com/3gunshow. That's Patreon. Show notes, including a written breakdown of all the recon criteria, can be found at 3gunshow.com. Just search for the name of this match. Now enjoy this match recon, and I'll see you on the range. Welcome to the 3 Gun Show. This is a special Match Recon podcast, and I'm your host, Dave Hartman. With me is special field correspondent Wade Jones. Wade, how are you?
I'm doing great, Dave. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Wade, what are we doing right now?
We're driving. We're near Vail.
Yeah, so we are on our way home from a match, and we thought we'd do the very first Match Recon podcast, actually the very first podcast on the 3 Gun Show from the inside of a pickup truck.
While we are driving. We're not being chauffeured like you might think.
Right. So if Wade sounds distracted and he's not paying attention to the podcast, I'll punch him, but he is driving, so we're gonna have him keep us safe.
Yeah, I'm gonna be focused on not killing us.
We have precious cargo and an AK with us. So for those of you who are listening to this real time, thank you for being a patron.
Yes.
Totally appreciate you. Appreciate the support for the show. Every time I see a new person sign up, my heart is warmed by the people that want to support the 3 Gun Show podcast. And actually got to meet a few patrons this weekend at Red Oktober Kalashnikov Festival, which is what we're here to talk about. And so I want to say thank you to you guys. And if you are listening to this in the future and you're wanting to know how to shoot the Rifle Dynamics Red Oktober Kalashnikov Championship, then join the patron group and you can get this stuff real time. Plus, we got a pretty cool Facebook group with some good interaction over there.
Yes, sir. Oh, are you waiting for me? I'm trying not to kill us on the road.
That's totally fine. Another good thing we have coming here is Born to 3 Gun t-shirts are coming back.
Oh, yeah.
And the patrons have spoken. They picked 3 colors, and we put it to a vote for the greater audience. A color has been chosen, but I'm going to keep that secret.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah.
You decided to keep it a secret?
Decided to keep it a secret just now, actually.
I was going to say.
We
didn't discuss this, Dave.
I thought we agreed on that. But so I'm going to keep that one a secret. It will, it'll be live. The sale will be live on Black Friday. And I'm going to break this to patrons here. Everyone else is going to be listening to this afterwards. But for you patrons, special thing here. If you have ever shot in Kentucky, then you know of Shredder Industries, which is another like apparel company that's excuse me, owned by our buddy Mike Boone, who has one of the very funniest quotes ever on the podcast. So he's been on the podcast. Dig it up if you haven't heard it. And he started this company, Shredder Industries, and it is to support youth shooters. And so he's doing that by selling T-shirts to people and then using the funds to support youth shooters.
Nice.
So Mike is a super competitive guy, Wade.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided to have a little contest. Who could sell the most shirts on Black Friday?
Oh!
Yeah, so that's why I'm telling you patrons earlier, because I'm going to need your help on this one.
So are you going to release it on Black Friday?
Yeah,
then?
we're going to release it on Black Friday.
Okay.
And apparently he's going to release a design as well.
All
So
right.
I need you not to buy that design from Shredder Industries on Black Friday. And if you're interested in a Born a 3-Gun shirt, definitely pick that up on Black Friday. I'm going to have a special discount code for patrons as a thank you for your support, because I appreciate you. And $5 from each sale of each shirt from both our companies will go
Ooh.
to Generation 3-Gun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty sweet, huh?
Yeah, that's very cool.
So,
Nice.
and that's for Black Friday only. So make sure you make that happen on Black Friday if you're interested in one of the shirts.
Yeah, while the rest of your family's out getting crushed at the mall, you can be at home shopping online for 3-Gun Show T-shirts.
And they make great gifts.
They do make great gifts for the whole family,
Yes,
especially
and,
your liberal in-laws. They love them.
it's so true. All right, well, Wade, we're going to let's dig into this, man.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so the match that we shot, which is cool because you shot this with me as well.
Yep.
It was the 2017 Rifle Dynamics Red Oktober Kalashnikov Championship, which was October 28th through 29th at the Tactical Performance Center in St. George, Utah. This was a time plus match, and it was a points match, and it's a one-gun, AK only, baby.
Yeah, rifle match.
Yeah, so the rule set was special Red Oktober rules. Of course, it was on practice score because Ken Nelson,
Ken,
proprietor of Tactical Performance Center, is also proprietor of practice score. The schedule was a half-day format, and that was AM, PM, Saturday and Sunday. And we shot AM, PM. We shot 5 stages on Saturday, 4 stages on Sunday, and then the other guys shot 4 stages and 5 stages.
Right.
So match fee was $150. Number of shooters, can you guess, Wade?
It was like 250, wasn't it?
259.
Nice.
So this is a cool part because last year, the very first year of the Red Oktober Kalashnikov Fest, so I didn't go to that one, but I heard it was great from a lot of friends of mine, and that's why we're here this year, is because I heard such great things about it. Last year, I was told 150 shooters.
All right.
So they basically doubled it.
Nice.
Wait, that math doesn't work out.
No,
120 shooters.
I was going to say I thought it was a little less than that.
Yeah, a little less than that. 120 shooters, and so they basically doubled it for this year, which is totally cool, right?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Especially when it's Kalashnikovs, and
that's a lot of people to run through 9 stages too.
It is, and we'll get into that one as well. So this is a like I said, unique rule set match.
Do you have a rule set?
I do have a rule set, and it's on the Southern Utah Practical Shooting Range website.
Ah, yes.
Turns out we're in a dead spot right now, so I can't tell you that.
Yeah, we're climbing up Vail Pass right now, so.
Yeah. But there was a couple little oddball, goofy rules that, and not necessarily goofy, but things that you should pay attention to. So this is one of those rule sets that you need to read.
Right.
For
which
example,
we did
which
the night
we did
before.
The night before, after we'd already gotten there. And it is also very new person friendly, so they're kind of lenient on 180s.
Yeah.
So you can go like 182, 183. You get a muzzle call and stuff like that. I'm personally not a big fan of that. I understand why they do it. But there's also some different AD rules as well.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I'm kind of a purist on that, probably because I started shooting with USPSA rules. But
Sure.
okay, so divisions on this one. This is pretty interesting divisions.
A lot of divisions.
A lot of divisions. And the first one is open Kalashnikov. Now, that can be 223, 545, 762, etc. Any optic. So if
Right.
you have a red dot or a scope, you're an open.
Open, yep.
107 shooters in that. The winner was Nils Jonassen,
Mm-hmm.
little guy you may have heard of before.
Perhaps.
Number 2 was Greg Severson.
Right.
Actually took the tactical performance 3-gun class with Greg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really nice dude. And then number 3 was our buddy John McClain,
Oh, yeah.
who we will find out later took a massive digger.
Oh, if you haven't seen it,
That
you got to see it.
Yeah, and if you decide to go look up, I'll link to it in the show notes. But if you decide to go look up John McClain's digger, make sure that you're not in a quiet place because you will let out a
Oh, yeah.
real loud one.
The crowd reaction is
Yeah.
priceless.
Oh God. Yeah. So then there's an armored division, and this is why I was digging up the rule set. So armored is basically you have to wear your armor plates, body armor, right?
I thought it was just the carrier, though. Without
Was
the
it just the
plates,
carrier?
It was something kind of odd like that.
Well, okay, so I got it right here. We just got a signal. So it says armored, which is the same as open, but you have to wear your own rifle-rated plates.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you have to wear that for the entire match.
Gotcha.
Crap. Stupid iPhone just updated.
Boo.
I know. Vamp for me, Wade.
So what was the next?
No, in
Are we still
armored
doing that
division,
one?
there were 35 shooters.
Oh, there you go.
Brandon Stalker won that one.
Oh, yeah. Our
Yeah.
buddy Brandon from Loveland.
Yeah, our Colorado buddy, Brandon Stalker, he won that one. Number 2, Jimmy Holdsworth from Competition Dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
And number 3, Kenji Iwamizu. And sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
All right.
Heavy Kalashnikov, which is stock 7.62x39 or larger caliber AKs variants, iron sights, and 30 round or smaller mags only. So 78 people in that division, second largest division. Sam Travis won that, who was former manager of the TPC. He was I guess helper, co-instructor, or whatever at the TPC 3-gun class I took. Eric France was number 2, and Kyle Litzy was number 3.
Was Kyle, was that the guy we met last night that came over and said, hey?
I'm not sure.
He was third in one class, but I can't remember which one it was. Might have been that one.
That was probably him then.
Yeah, I think it was. Anywho.
Okay, so then light Kalash, which is...
That's what I shot.
Yes, which is just like a Kalash Heavy, but for anything 5.45 or larger. So
Smaller. 5.45 or smaller.
Oh, it's
Oh.
it's written wrong on the website. It's
Oh.
5.45 or smaller. You're correct.
Yeah.
So that kind of hung up weight on that one. We'll get into that in a little bit here as far as division goes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why you should read the rules before you leave your house.
Before you pack up all your magazines and stuff?
Yeah, exactly. So light Kalash, 26 people in that division. Excuse me. Tim Yackley won that one.
Oh, yeah.
Wes Powell, another Colorado boy, took
Yeah.
number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And Clayton Owens, number 3.
All right.
Next division is Comblock. Or I guess that's the last division. Comblock is any rifle issued by a Warsaw Pact nation that isn't an AK, such as an SKS, VZ58, STG 44, or any commie subgun like a...
You could use that PPSH.
Yeah, I think it's pronounced...
Oh, it is.
41, AK-based pistol or AK-based pistol caliber carbines compete here as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that one was pretty interesting because I could not pick any one of those out of a lineup. But that division had 13 people. Scott Kurtz.
The venerable Scott Kurtz.
Yeah, so this is kind of cool. So we're going to talk about this in other opportunities here, but be very afraid of Scott Kurtz.
Do not get in a shoot-off with Scott Kurtz.
If Scott Kurtz has daughters, stay away from his daughters. He won that one. Number 2 was Kevin Brister, and number 3 was Kyle Kalama.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so other opportunities at this match, there were lots of vendor demos.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of cool. So you could pay to shoot some full auto stuff. Dead Air Suppressors was there. NG2 Defense Suppressors were there, which is Scott McGregor's company.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Which is kind of cool. So got to shoot one of those for the first time.
I shot a suppressed Sten gun, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah.
The Sten gun looks like a Home Depot gun.
Basically,
if you've never seen one before. It's made from pipe and tree branches and shit.
Yeah, they mass manufactured those things.
Yeah, 9mm, super quiet, open bolt. It's kind of weird watching the
action cycle on it.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then I got to shoot a dead air suppressor out of a Ruger Mark II, I think they're called.
Yep,
super quiet little guy. That was kind of cool. Other opportunities also. So this match, because AKs don't have like a ton of support in America.
Right.
There's a lot of people super passionate about it, but it's not hugely popular like the AR is. The prize table here at this match is not necessarily as big as it is at a lot of the major matches that we go to. So the winners in each division have a shoot-off for the first walk of the prize table.
Right.
Which is pretty cool,
yeah,
right?
It was interesting.
Yeah, it was. And so they actually used the guns that they were about to win to shoot off against each other, which was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And also the Saturday night, another opportunity. Saturday night, they have a team match that you can sign up for free of charge. Shoot your own gear in a shoot-off format.
Two-man teams.
Two-man team, and you each shoot a rifle array and a pistol array, and you're timed on that one. Top times are seeded into the next night, and they take the top 2, or at least they did this year. They take the top 2 and a random 2 from the shoot-off, and they shoot off then for another prize, which I forgot what it was.
I don't think there was a prize for that. I think at the end they were like it was just prestige or something. Yeah, because Ken said something on the mic. I don't know. We have it on the thing.
Yeah.
We've got it on the live feed.
It's on the Instagram Live, so if you listen to this within the next 24 hours.
Yeah, hurry.
Yeah, if you listen to this Monday, October 30th, which is when we're recording, it'll be there. If not, we'll figure it out sometime.
Yeah.
So the Sunday shoot-off, which was kind of cool because they're doing scores and everything behind the scenes.
Right.
And the whole time, Ken is doing the dancing act while scores are being sorted out for everything else.
Which he's pretty good at,
He's
actually.
pretty good at, yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think he really enjoys it, too.
Yeah.
He claims like he gets dragged into it every time, but I think he enjoys it.
He seemed to be smiling a little too much to not like
exactly.
it.
Which, Ken is a patron, by the way, so
awesome.
Ken's going to listen to this one. So, Ken, we know what you're up to. We know you like doing that. But the shoot-off was cool, right?
Yeah.
And it was interesting.
What's going on? Is that my phone?
Yeah.
Shit, I'm sorry. I don't even know what it is. It's right here.
Rookie mistake, man.
Would you shut that thing off?
Yeah.
This is what happens when you do things when you're driving.
Exactly. Sorry, everybody. Hang with us here. So anyway, the shoot-off was cool because it had the top guys against each other, and the aforementioned Scott Kurtz,
yes.
annihilated everyone. And
dude.
He's, if you looked at him.
Guy's a shooter.
If you looked at him and you looked at the people he was up against, which was
Tim Yackley, for instance.
Tim Yackley, Sam Travis, Nils Jonassen, Brennan Stalker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would think by looking at him, you're like, oh, Nils Jonassen, world-class pistol shooter, competitive on a national stage. I don't know this guy. He's just some dude from Utah, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, man. Age and treachery every time, right?
Yeah.
So he had a unique method of using the staging box to brace for the rifle, and then he was tall enough that his torso was long enough that he could just reach over and grab the shotgun to shoot the stop plate
Yeah, so we should probably set it up for people. They had the rifle and a shotgun in the box.
Yeah, those were stage guns.
They had to shoot the what do you call it? The array.
The
with
rifle plate rack, 6 plates.
Right, and then they had to shoot
like
a popper down
yards.
with. Then they had shoot the popper down with the shotgun. So they switch guns.
And the popper was the stop plate, so it does the traditional one falls underneath the other.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them were pretty close, but
some were exciting.
Yeah, they were. And I got to tell you, a couple things I noticed is the faster guys were bracing off the box no matter what.
Yep.
And super flexible dudes were getting down low, like in I don't know, like a gymnast squat or whatever,
right,
where their butt and their knees were on the ground at the same time. And then they were shooting the rifle braced off the thing. But each one of the guys that lost to Scott stood up and grabbed the shotgun and shot.
Yep.
Where Scott just reached over, grabbed that shotgun, stayed on the ground.
Stayed in like a double kneel and just blam, just so fast.
It was super impressive to see that. And he got him every time, and he ended up winning. So congratulations, Scott.
Yeah. Excellent job.
Yeah, many matches, many bouts there. Well done. So, all right. Match flavor.
AK would be the flavor of this match.
Brewskis, right?
Yeah,
definitely AK. It's a one-gun match. It's AK-based. It's to give AK shooters a place to get together and compete, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
As far as I know, last year this was like the first match of its kind. And from what we heard last night from many different people, there are a bunch of matches that are sprouting up all over the nation that are similar to it.
Two or three at least. More coming next year.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's going to be a total of 5 next year from what I could count.
Yeah, I heard so Florida, Pacific Northwest, and somewhere in the Midwest for sure.
Yep.
Sounded like.
Yep.
So coming soon to a theater near you.
Yeah, and so this AK match has actually spawned a AK prep match on the local level in Colorado. And we shot that like a month ago, and it's basically like all the, it's kind of the same thing. Like, hey, anyone who has an AK, come out and shoot.
Right.
Also, all you 3-gunners that shoot your ARs all year long and are going to go shoot the Red Oktober match, now you can actually get one repetition of practice before you go out to Utah, right?
Yeah.
So I shot that match, and it was a ton of fun, but I shot it in AR division.
Oh, I was going to say, what did you shoot?
Yeah, I shot it AR open division because I don't have an AK, and at the time I wasn't planning on coming to this match.
I see.
After this match, Brian reached out, and he's like, hey, if you like that, why don't you come shoot the match? And so we came out, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, so the Colorado match was super fun because it's put on by Wes Powell, Drew Bull, all those dudes that normally put on the Weld County Fish and Wildlife match. And it's $10 more than a normal match, and then it has a cash payout to the top 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in each division, which is cool.
So they throw in like a jackpot?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and then they base it off of percentages and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Of note, I won AR Open division.
Oh,
it was great
because you were the only person there with an AR. Is that what?
No, it was the largest division. You dick.
Of course it was. Why wouldn't it be the largest at an AK match?
Yeah, well, I mean that's the thing is like last year they had the same match and a few people attended because few people have AKs.
Right.
But a lot of people have AR, so they're like, well, if it's a local, why don't we just add an AR division, and ended up being the largest. So
that makes sense.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. So, all right. So back to the Red Oktober match. Match flavor here.
Got the match flavor down.
Lots of people in costumes. Got to mention that.
Oh, yeah.
Because
there were some people dressed up.
This isn't like a speed shoes and jerseys match.
No, very few jerseys out there.
Yeah. And these are, it seems like a lot of people are out there just for fun.
And even a lot of the sponsored shooters were kind of costumed up.
Yeah. And a lot of the sponsored shooters couldn't shoot, too. I noticed. It was like, hey, we there's 6 of us at this AK company. We all sell AKs. We should go shoot this AK match. Let's get matching shirts.
Right.
And, maybe not the most competition experience.
Sure.
Lots and lots of new people at this match.
Including myself.
Yeah. Yep. Lots of tactical people, I guess you'd say. Like people that are full kitted out. Dudes wearing chest rigs.
Mm-hmm. With all the dudes doing the body armor, right?
Yeah. Camo, IFAKs, things like that.
God, one guy had so much gear on. Like, the guy had the knife and the...
Yeah.
Wow. A ton of stuff on
A
it.
ton of stuff. So with that comes some sketchy gun handling.
A little bit.
As far as competitors are used to, because we have, a common set of rules. We don't point guns backward usually, and when you do, it's a bad thing. But I guess from what I understand from watching Magpul videos, in tactical training, you just put your gun down and you run straight back. Right?
Yeah, they're always running around each other and stuff.
Yeah,
Right?
they get freaked out when you do that in competition.
Right.
So yeah, some sketchy stuff there. Also, new guys are not big on resetting. Yeah,
they don't really understand.
Yeah, and even when schooled, it seemed like you were asking them to do one thing, and that one thing was accomplished, and they didn't keep that up for the rest of the day.
Right.
So that was a little bit of frustrating. Made for a super tiring first day for the experienced people.
Yeah, I finally had to yell at some people.
Yeah, which was awesome because then I didn't have to yell at them. Terrain. So this is, Tactical Performance Center. They have a ton of bays for pistol matches and everything, but they also have some open terrain. This was a mix of natural terrain and bay stages. So I counted 3 terrain stages.
No, 4.
4.
Well, if you count the trench.
Oh, okay. Well, that's technically a bay,
Oh, okay.
but we can call that.
It's kind of terrainy, though. Yeah,
It was terrainy. And then 6 bay stages. But, yeah, we can call that a terrain one as well because, holy cow, they brought in a freaking earth mover and dug a trench 12 foot deep that you could shoot in, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Yeah, it was super fun. And if you went to Hard as Hell last year in 2016 and you ran through the trenches, this is about twice as wide as that is. Last year when I was running through with my pistol, I was scraping my holster on the walls.
You could move through the rifle pretty good on this one.
This you could move with your rifle sideways.
Yeah.
And it's an AK. I have no clue how long that barrel was on mine or the stock or anything.
It's pretty long.
Yeah, but it was pretty long. It was long enough to bang it up against stuff, but I never touched the walls of the trenches for sure. Yeah, it was pretty interesting. And we got to see Sean Yackley do a flying leap into the trench.
Hovered out about 7 feet and landed. His mom was not happy.
No, it was absolutely incredible, though.
It was incredible.
It's pretty impressive.
You should have done that.
I thought I did in my head, but looking at the video later, I didn't.
It's like, yeah,
No, not even close. I just kind of
hopped down.
Yeah, sat on my butt and slid like a little kid. All right, so the skills utilized on this one.
Oh man, if you're not familiar with AKs, it's tough.
Dude, that's funny. The first thing I wrote down was knowing how to use an AK.
Yeah.
It was tough for me because magazine release is weird. I understand how it works, but understanding how it works and doing it with ease on the clock are 2 different things.
Yep, for sure.
Trying to find that charging handle when you're rocking it underneath was weird. Trying to find the magazine release, because there was one stage where we had 10-round magazines.
Yeah.
So you had to reload multiple times, which obviously is an advantage to people who are familiar with it. You
started empty, so you ended up loading at least 3 times.
Yeah, at least 3 times, and then they gave you the option to load a 4th. Yeah, so knowing the manual of arms of an AK is a giant plus in an AK match, turns out.
There was a lot of fumbling, for sure.
Yeah, a lot of fumbling, even by experienced people.
Well, that's just the way that mag is set up. It's just fumbly.
It's not ergonomic.
No.
Why would a firefight last longer than 30 rounds?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so one stage had a super low crawl under a table and then under a USPSA style wall to get into a Cooper tunnel that you could squat or kneel in. So that initial low entry was painful for some and super difficult for others. They had a Rensing tunnel. You had to jump up and through and climb up, which was smooth on the inside, which was a little bit difficult.
A little tricky, yeah.
They also had a 2-tunnel thing where you go down one tunnel, under a bunch of bars, and then crawl on your knees, and then under a bunch of more bars, and then crawl up. And that's how you start the stage. Gotta watch your head on that one. Let's see. They had stage guns. So knowing how to use other guns was important in this one.
Quite a few stage guns.
They had
3, right?
Yeah, they had a Mauser, which I had never seen up close before.
Yeah.
Some sort of communist pistol that we could never figure out what it was provided by one of the match sponsors.
Trying to go too fast to even look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I asked someone what it was, and they said some sort of commie something.
Oh, okay.
And so I don't know what that is. But it was 9mm. I know that. Then they had a Rifle Dynamics in 5.45, an AK of some sort with an aim point on it. Mm-hmm. And because it's Tactical Performance Center and they have it, you got to throw a flashbang.
Yes.
And breach a door, which was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Breach a door, toss a flashbang, create a bunch of dust for you to shoot in.
Yep.
I would also say that offhand rifle was a skill that you could utilize in this one.
Yeah,
to
for
your
sure.
Advantage.
Yep.
There was a lot of big plates and opportunities to shoot rifle. There was one stage that had 5 positions, and 4 or 3 of them were unsupported. Shooting clays with your rifle, shooting big steel plates with your rifle, and the first position, they had a slanted wall. You could have actually chosen to shoot that offhand, which I did, and seemed to have pretty good luck with. And the last thing I wrote for skills utilized, speedy USPA style stages.
Yeah.
Although they did do a good job of slowing you down on those USPSA styles by putting a baby IPSC target inside of a full-size IPSC target.
Right.
Which means that a no-shoot is your backdrop. So dropping a shot means a no-shoot on that one.
They did a lot of that, and a lot of those little clay no-shoots, too.
Yeah. Oh, that was, yeah. Thanks, Wade. So there's, they took IPSC targets, the no-shoot side, cut a clay hole in it, and then just stuffed the clay in there. So you had to break the clay, and if you missed, didn't know your offset, then you're breaking that clay. Or excuse me, you're breaking
the no-shoot.
Yep, getting the no-shoot. Thank you. Farthest shot in this one, so we generally define long-range targets as 200 yards or farther.
Mm-hmm.
So by that measure, there was no long-range targets.
Right.
There were targets at 91 and 88 yards on one stage, possibly some farther on another stage, but you could actually get pretty close to those.
Mm-hmm.
And ones that you shot with the stage gun. There was 3 on that stage, and then on the first stage, which I mentioned that there was 5 rifle positions, the longest shot on that was 75 yards.
Yep, that's right.
Yep. Which on the initial walkthrough, by the way, I'd just like to say that Becky Ackley said that one is 120 yards.
And you said, how far do you think that way? You think it's 120? I was like, nah, it's maybe like 75, 80.
Yep, so I had Wade get out the Vortex Ranger 1500 and range it, and it was 75. And I said, don't tell Becky. But we told her.
Yeah.
All right, so that's farthest shot. Logistics, no check-in.
No check-in, no.
Because practice score. So practice score is a big fan of the, hey, you don't need check-in anymore. You know, people who shoot the match are in the match, and people who don't shoot the match will be removed from the match by the software. So they're a big fan of that, so there's no check-in. So you basically just come, and 10 a.m. on Friday, you can start walking stages. But because there's no check-in, there's also like a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So you got to find either Ken or Brian or someone you know, or maybe interrupt the RO shooting to ask, where's this, what's that. Also, there was no stage briefs on the stages for the first couple hours.
Right. Yeah, it took a little bit.
Which was confusing, and then we actually walked the 10-round mag stage with no stage brief. And we were like, oh, this is easy. You got one mag here.
Doesn't seem like a big deal.
Yeah, we can finish this in under 30 rounds. And then we get to it on the day we're supposed to shoot it, and it's like, oh, no, there's all these mag changes. Crap. And you start unloaded.
Yeah, I know. I just loaded up 3 mags, and I had to download everything.
Yeah, exactly. I had just reloaded the mags I used as well. Match shirts. Also because of no check-in. So there is a match shirt for this. And they were placed on the table at the barbecue/shoot-off on Saturday night, and they quickly disappeared.
Yep. We barely got one.
Guessing that maybe some people took 2.
Probably.
Because not everybody got a shirt.
People that came to watch probably snagged one.
Yeah, maybe.
Hard to say.
Yeah, scoring was good. It was not updated Saturday night. Like I looked, couldn't find results on practice score.
Yeah, I'd look too.
We didn't get an email on that, so we didn't know how we were doing after the second day, other than doing some math, or after the first day, other than doing some math. And there was about a 2-hour delay in the afternoon squad getting started on Saturday. And our last stage, they actually started the afternoon squad before us, and then we had to get the match director over to mediate.
Put a halt to them and let us get through so we could finish up.
Yeah, figure out whose stage it was. They had to toss stage 8 due to optic malfunction.
Too bad for you.
I have super heartburn about that one that we'll talk about later. And I've now learned not to like stage guns. I used to think it was awesome.
Yeah.
Prize table was random draw. I didn't really see anything taken off other than the guns that were there. So the division winners had some great prizes. Short barrel shotguns on the prize table.
Yeah, SBS on the prize table.
Yeah, weird to see something like actual physical with a tax stamp required.
Yeah, I thought that was a little strange too.
Yeah. This is cool. Century Arms brought up all the ROs that were still there, and thanked them for doing it. Said they really enjoyed the match and saw how hard the ROs were working and everything, and decided to give every RO a pistol.
Gave every one of them a pistol.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
How crazy is that?
That's great.
That's awesome. I've never seen that before in a match.
I bet there'll be no shortage of ROs next year.
Yeah, no kidding. I've never seen that in a match.
I've never heard of it.
Yep. All right, the venue. So easy access to Tactical Performance Center right off I-15. This is St. George, Utah, so it's pretty close to Mesquite, Nevada. If you're flying in, generally you'll fly into the Las Vegas airport and rent a car and drive from there, which is about an hour and a half away. We drove from Colorado, about 9.5 hours or so.
Plenty of places to stay. It's a good decent-sized town.
Yeah. Bring your own booze.
Oh, right, yeah.
It is illegal, but you should bring your own booze if you want to come. We went to the state-run liquor store to get 40s for a reason you'll find out later. And
no 40s.
No 40s. No 40s of OE.
Nope.
And I noticed that cans of beer were like $3 a piece.
Yeah.
A can of beer.
It was weird how all the six-packs are broken up. People would just rip one beer off.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Because they were $3 a piece.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, I guess I just have one.
Yeah, exactly. And what else was I going to say? Also, don't order margaritas at Red Robin.
But just don't order a drink at a bar there.
No.
They just, I don't know what they do, but.
Well, they have state measuring sticks. You have to ask my dad about it. He loves to talk about it. My dad lives in Utah, for people that don't know. Close to hotels, a lot of stuff in St. George. Creative use of facility. Super creative use of the facility. I think they do pretty well.
Yeah.
Ken told us that they have 22 acres.
Yep.
And they're going to actually move the range, which is,
something I've never heard of.
Mind-boggling undertaking, right?
Yeah.
But they're moving to 500 acres. Ken claims they'll have 1,800 yards to work with, which is amazing. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So 1,800 yards is the longest shot, 500 acres, and all the crazy stuff that they're able to do with 22 acres. It's going to be amazing to see what they do with 500. So
yeah, looking
forward to that.
Sweet matches down there.
Hell yeah. All right, pre-communication. They have a match website, which is cool, and I love that.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of information on the match website, including rules, including divisions, stuff like that.
The sign-up sheet for the two-man match was on there.
Yeah. Sign-up sheet for the two-man match. Practice score link was on there. Registration, obviously, through practice scores. Didn't get any email updates before the match, but I think we only signed up 2 weeks before, so maybe there was something before that.
I think there was one. There was just the one that said that they were canceling the night stage and adding a ninth.
Oh, okay.
No night and then ninth instead.
All right.
It's the only one I saw.
I did not get that update. I got to figure out why I don't get practice score emails. And I didn't see much Facebook activity. A lot of people will do Facebook updates on matches and everything. didn't see anything on this one, but the website was super complete. I didn't think I really had any questions on anything. Staff, how was the staff?
I thought they were great. I'm trying to think. I don't remember any issues.
We had a couple guys that were super rushed, but they had an afternoon squad and a morning squad, both fighting for the same stage. So I can imagine you'd be a little bit flustered when you have 30 people looking at you.
He was a little flustered at first, but once it was decided, he was fine. And,
absolutely.
And we cranked through it.
Yep.
And I think it was the right decision because our squad moved pretty fast. So
yeah. Well, and you want to get the morning squad out of there rather than make them wait until the evening, right?
Right.
RO on stage 2, little persnickety.
I don't know about that guy. He's a little rough.
I don't know, a little rough around the edges.
Mm-hmm.
For those who didn't go to the match, that was Ken Nelson, so giving him a hard time there.
He said he had 26 people on his stage that was their first stage ever.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah. Not just their first match, that was their first stage.
Yeah,
so think how many people that was their first match.
And think of how many people are going to think wow, we get to run through trenches whenever we go to one of these matches.
Yeah, right. Are they all like this?
Are they all? Yeah. So that was a ton of fun. I like the staff. There's a lot of the same faces that you see if you've been to or shot at the TPC before, and all great people. So very welcoming atmosphere at the TPC. All right, fun factor, Wade. Did you have fun?
I had a lot of fun. I think it was a great kind of intro match for me.
Yeah.
I only had one gun to kind of fuss with, and I had a great, obviously the best squad.
Yeah.
Really.
That's what everyone says, by the way. Yeah, it's serious. Like, if you look at everyone's post-shoot wrap-up, it's like, hey, or either such and such matches in the books, Squad 2 was the best, or had a great time at such and such match, Squad 2 was the best. That's how they do it. Every single time. You'll notice it from now on.
Well, except ours was.
Well, it truly was.
Well.
I noticed, watching you shoot, Wade, that this is a great entry for people wanting to learn to shoot competitions of one gun. A lot of times we just want to jump into 3-gun, right? Because it's cool, it's sexy, it's what I really like to shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But if you step back and you have one thing to manage, I think your match goes a lot easier, goes a lot faster for sure. There's less commitment dollar-wise, and you can learn all the rules and everything.
Yeah, and you don't, we didn't really have to worry about dumping anything. Anything that was dumped was a stage gun, so and typically you ran it dry. So it was that was easy for me, I thought. So I didn't have to kind of worry about any of that.
Yep.
Takes a lot of pressure off, and kind of get an idea of, just how stages are run and how to shoot them. Obviously had a lot of very experienced people on our squad, so that was huge. So if you're going to go your first time and you can shoot with some experienced people, especially friends, I would advise that.
Yeah, always shoot with better shooters, right? It's what we talk about all the time. They make you better, and then they show you what's actually able to be done. So for people that didn't shoot with us, we shot with 4/5 of the Yackley 5. We shot, or no, 3/5.
3/5.
Andrew was there, but he didn't shoot. We shot with Sean Yackley, Tim Yackley, and Becky Yackley. We shot with Corinne Mosher. Corinne's uncle, Justin, I think his name was.
Justin, yep.
And then a bunch of new dudes that I had not met before, which was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so you and me, and then we knew all those people from SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, it was a great time.
We had a great squad. Let's see. There's gimmicky things, but that's what I expect when I go to TPC.
Yeah.
I expect fun stuff. I'm going to have to climb over things. I'm going to have to shoot through things. I'm going to have to throw a flashbang for no good reason, which is always fun.
Sure.
I'm going to have to climb in stuff, climb out of stuff. It's more physical. They want you to do physical things on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Ken talks about that. I think he talked about that in the Hard as Hell wrap-up that we did. Like, he wants you to get flustered and then have to shoot, because then you find out how good of a shooter you are.
Yeah, and it's fun, right? It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun match.
Yeah, Yeah, and this is a fun match. This isn't like something I would say you should go and be super competitive at and, be really super serious about. You should go and expect to have fun at this match.
That said, the division winners were no surprises for
Yeah, that's true. Bastards. So we ran through trenches. We got to race a bowling ball on like a Rube Goldberg machine.
Man, it was like a mousetrap.
Yeah, it was like mousetrap. So they had like an I-beam laid on its side. They had a bowling ball running through the I-beam channel into a bucket that operated a pressure sensor that operated a clamshell and 2 swingers. So you shot the popper with the stage pistol that we were talking about earlier, and then you had to get up off the platform, and that's where John smashed his face on the ground.
Yes.
John McClane. Ooh, it was rough. It was an audible smack, too.
It was.
And then the crowd went, ooh.
Then you had to run over and grab your rifle and get the clamshell while it popped open for about a second and a half. So
Yep.
So a lot of people didn't make it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then they also do coaching at this match. So then the RO's like, hey, you might as well just shoot a round into that, because if you don't, then it's a 15-second failure to engage. If you do, then it's a 5-second penalty.
Right.
And you already engaged it.
Yeah, put one through the A zone.
Yep. So that was pretty cool. We got to shoot through a shoot house, which was totally fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that also ended up being our memory stage. And memory stages is super difficult for me when I started out. They're still not my strong suit or anything, but I felt pretty comfortable on that stage, that shoot house stage.
Yeah, I was really nervous about that one because there were so many targets and so many windows, and I thought I was just going to get lost, but I reviewed it so many times the night before. I was dreaming about it, so it wasn't too bad when I actually got up there and did it.
Yeah, that was our first stage of the day. We started in the morning, and Becky was our first shooter. So she shot it when the sun was still behind the berm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I was 3 shooters after her. It was I think Matt and then Corinne and then me. And I used the same gun Becky did because we shared a gun this match.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't see anything because of the dust and the sun coming in the optics. So I had to do a mouse hole pop-up every time on targets that were 10 yards away.
So then I shot last, and by the time I went through, the sun was high enough that it wasn't so bad.
Damn it. Well, you didn't have an optic. You had iron sights.
That's
right?
true, yeah.
So that helps a little bit.
I didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, so that stage I lost like 15 seconds to Becky on because of hunting for each target.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was digging myself out the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So I did pretty good, though. So that, speaking of fun factor, it's a good time to bring up. I don't own an AK.
Right.
So you were like, hey, you want to borrow an AK? I'm like, no, Brian's got one I can borrow. And then I talked to Becky, and she's like, oh, well, we'll bring more ammo in case you want to use this one. Ended up that Brian was lending his AK to a couple other people.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, let's make this easier. I'll just shoot the same AK as Becky. And so we use the same ammo, same mag, same gun. And I'm like, this is going to be awesome.
Right.
Because I'm finally going to beat Becky.
Head to head.
Head to head. And I'll be like, I did it with your own gun. And I had my winning speech all written in my head.
You guys should have seen when Dave would win a stage, the grin on his face.
And how upset Becky was.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah. But the funny part is, this started out as like just kind of a joke for social media.
Mm-hmm.
And then turns out Becky's like super competitive, so she gets real excited about this stuff. And then I just got tired of losing, and now I'm like invested in it as well.
Right.
But we're friends.
Sure.
Right? It's a joke rivalry. It's like WWE wrestling, right?
Right.
We're friends. So we're we joked about not telling Becky what the range was on that target, but we definitely told her before the match at the 0 range. She let me shoot the AK. We even did the lie down and shoot under like a 6-inch port.
Mm-hmm.
We practiced that on some targets that I had, so we could see what it was like to shoot a clay that was surrounded by no shoots. Knowing where the hold was, we kept reminding each other of it. we would load each other's mags, when we were done shooting, just to help each other out, get ready and stuff.
Right.
Lending gear back and forth. So
friendly competition.
But that, yeah, exactly. Friendly competition. Those are the words I couldn't put together. But that's what 3-gun is to me.
Sure.
The
not trying to sabotage anybody.
Not trying to sabotage anybody. Whereas, USPSA, we talk about them all the time. They seem to look for gotchas, reasons to DQ people and everything, and also reasons to, screw your competitors.
Right.
This is a completely different environment. We went into this match thinking I've run 2 AKs in my life. I think they both belong to you. Maybe one to one of our friends. I probably put a max of 60 rounds downrange of an AK in my entire life. So I was just looking to have some fun. And because of that, I was like, dude, we got to wear costumes, right?
Right.
So the first day, we dressed like 90s gangster rappers.
Yeah, like West Coast gangsters.
Yeah, because when I think of AKs, I think of that iconic picture of Ice Cube and Dre sitting on a couch, probably a cloud full of weed.
Yeah.
And Ice Cube's holding an AK, right?
Right.
Like that. That's what I picture in my head.
And they mentioned AK in about every song back then. Yeah.
Right. And that is right in my. I'm right in that demographic. I was in my formative years of junior high, where you don't know who the hell you are and everything. And
grew up watching Colors.
Grew up watching Colors and Boys in the Hood, and MTV's feeding you gangster rap and Dr. Dre every day, and you're like, oh, look, they're pouring 40s on chicks that are dancing in their living room. Oh. So
amazing.
That, by the way, is why we were looking for 40s earlier.
Yeah, we were going to pour them on some dancing girls, but neither.
It was just part of the costume. We were going to drink them while we were watching the shoot off, but couldn't find 40s or dancing girls.
Couldn't find 40s or dancing girls. Well, we found 40s, but they were Budweiser, and they were mostly water.
Yeah, they were 3.2, so it was mostly water. So
costumes killed, by the way.
Costumes killed because everyone else did the thing of dressing in Russian Mafia tracksuits, which we actually did on Sunday, and I felt kind of silly about because everyone else was wearing the same costume.
Yeah, by the time we got ours on, it was kind of done.
Yeah, exactly. Now I understand how when you show up to prom and someone else is wearing the same dress. I understand how those girls feel now.
I know how you feel, ladies.
Exactly how you feel.
It's exactly the same. And then there was a few people that did Vietnam era period stuff and things like that.
That was kind of neat.
Yeah. Well, I think we were the only cholos out there.
Yeah, and it was great because I envisioned it as Russian gangsters, but then people immediately start calling us cholos. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to embrace this. But it was great. We did the button the shirt at the top and ran with it open. I'll have videos and pictures and stuff like that on the 3-gun social media and stuff, so you can check it out. But we just embraced it. We had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun. And that being excited about that, I think made the match super fun for me and made me relax about the competition part of it. Because the getting used to, especially on that first stage when the AK is bouncing way more than the AR does, it's reciprocating. Mass is way higher because of the piston.
Ka-chunk, ka-chunk, ka-chunk.
Yeah, ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Every time you pull the trigger, the sight not only goes up, but it dips way down afterwards. It was
shooting an optic you're not used to.
Yeah, optic I'm not used to. It was interesting for sure, but that part was fun to be able to do the costumes and everything. So that's also probably funny things that happened at the match. Another thing is when I was crawling through the Cooper tunnel, you have to put one hand down on your rifle.
Yeah. As
you're crawling through there. I must have hit the button on the Magpul stock that was on the AK because when I pulled it up to shoot, it was like a wobbly noodle because the stock was half folded. And so I just kind of I guess this is where my eye relief is, and bam, and then tried to bang it back in before the next array. And I got it, but that was a good one.
Sean either intentionally or his folded on him too when he went through that.
Yeah, so Sean actually switched to a crink, a little shorty, and just loud as hell. It was awesome. When
muzzle blast like crazy.
And it was great. He was having the time of his life shooting that. So yeah, other funny things that happened at the match. Becky, when going through, excuse me, the down tunnel, the bars, the crawling portion, the bars again, and then the up tunnel. When doing that on the walkthrough, everyone's like, head down, head down, head down, shouting at her. And she almost whacked her head. They were like, you were close. You hit your ponytail wrapped around it.
Right.
And Becky's like, oh, no, I've done this before. I got this. And so on the clock, she gets under the first one, and everyone's like, head down, head down, head down on the second one. And she just looked down, didn't actually put her head down, and ran full force into the bar.
She cranked that thing.
And she
bent it.
She came to she bent the bar.
Bent the bar at the top of her head.
At the top of her head, came to a complete stop. I thought she was done.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be the end of the stage for her.
Yeah, but she got her safety glasses back on and finished it.
Yeah, she powered through
and did well. That was a little rough to see.
Our roommate RO'd that one, and he told us that she opened the floodgates, and by the end of the match, the bars were nearly touching. So many people had crushed them with their heads.
Yeah.
He said people were bleeding. And
I hate to laugh about it, but it's funny because it didn't happen.
Because it wasn't us.
But Becky was walking in circles for a while, but she's okay, we hope. She made it through the night, didn't have a concussion that we know of. But here's the funny thing. She hit herself like right on the top of her head, and then her forehead was swollen.
Yeah.
So like that had to have been like her entire melon was swollen. Like she hit it hard.
She did.
It was rough.
She's got video up on her Facebook, I think.
Yeah. And that's another one of those.
Yeah,
moments.
check that one out.
Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. The what's some other funny things? Let's see. Oh, Corinne Mosher has a ton of fanboys.
Oh, yeah, she does.
She's got a whole cadre of dudes following her around with cameras.
Mm-hmm.
And it was we actually have some photos of dudes taking photos of her shooting, which is kind of funny. On the one stage where like the afternoon squad kind of showed up and tried to familiarize themselves with the stages and everything, there started being some people watching and everything. That's when like all the cameras came out, and it looked like
it's like paparazzi.
It was like paparazzi. If you've ever seen that video of Chris Costa with the airsoft gun on the catwalk going all nuts, and all the Japanese people taking photos of him because it's in Japan. Come on, it's not racist. It's a fact.
It's true.
Location. That is what it looked like. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, it was funny.
And I don't think Corinne thinks this part's funny, but I think this is funny. So we had to shoot a Mauser at like 15 yards, 16 yards?
Something like that.
8mm Mauser. You get one round that you have to carry with you through those tunnels I was talking about, the Becky Whacker Melon.
Carry the round through, not the Mauser.
Yeah. Carry the round through. Corinne goes through that fastest I've ever seen anyone go through anything.
She was first on stage, too.
Yeah, she was first on the stage.
Yeah.
Crawled through that like a baby on acid. maybe
crank.
Methamphetamines, crank.
Yeah.
Hauling butt through that thing, gets under there with her head, gets out, gets that cartridge in the Mauser, puts the bolt down, takes an aim shot, pulls the trigger, misses the popper.
Nothing. And then you have to run down and kick it.
So that popper activates 3 swingers. So if you don't activate it and you don't swing it, that's 4 failure, or no, a failure to neutralize and 3 failure to engage. Yeah. So she has to run down there, kick that popper over, and come back. And she like sprinted down and sprinted back, and then it still had a smoking time on that stage.
Yeah.
Corinne actually ended up 9th in our division in open.
Mm-hmm.
Super impressive. By the way, I was 14, Becky was 13, so I was 1.4% behind Becky.
Well, would she miss that shot though with that Mauser? I was like, oh man, if she's missing this, I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Why?
But everyone else on our squad hit it.
But I heard somebody. Did you hear somebody asked her like, what happened with that? She's like, I just jerked it.
Oh really?
Yeah. She says, I've never shot one before, and I just jerked it.
Gotcha. So yeah, that was funny. What else? There's another one I'm trying to think. Oh, so let's talk about why Dave no longer likes stage guns.
Oh yeah. It's not really a funny thing then.
No, this is not funny. Haha, it's funny. Tragic. So stage 8, I was first up on that one, and I smoked that stage. We had the stage gun. We had to engage 3 targets. It was with an aim point T1 or something like that, 2 MOA dot, 545 by 39 AK by Rifle Dynamics, and it was on a tank track, basically 4x4 inch
Tank trap.
Thank you, 4x4 steel posts, or not steel posts, wood posts, with a connector in the middle. So you start kneeling, and you start on the target.
Yep. You start
Safe
kneeling.
off.
Yep.
And so on the buzzer, I just went ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
3 rounds, and then ran up the trail, and had a great run on it. I was pretty excited.
Yep.
Beat Becky by 5 seconds on that one after she ran. And then when it was all said and done, they had to throw that stage out.
Yeah.
And I was super bummed. And
Something happened with the sight on the stage rifle. And
Yeah.
They didn't know when it happened and who had it bad and who had it good.
And there would have had to been like a ton of reshoots and everything.
I shot that one so poorly. I'm pretty sure it was bad on mine as soon as you were done
as soon
shooting.
as I was done, it went bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Tim went after you, and he did pretty good.
Yeah. Well, Tim, he just point shoots at that distance with an unknown gun.
Yeah. So they tossed that stage, and I lost to Becky. I would have won.
You would have won, yeah.
I was pretty bummed.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
I know. All right. But I should have done better on all the other stages, too. So, whatever. All right. So, stage 9, which was like a goalie run, where you start out with another AK in your hand that has like a bayonet on it. And you stab a body, which was a hail bay. And then you pick up your own AK, charge the handle.
A hail bay.
A bay.
I was like, why does that sound wrong?
Hay bale. Glad you're paying attention.
Oh, I'm trying.
So, pick up your rifle, charge it, and then shoot I think 6 targets, and then you run up the goalie, shooting targets as you go, and then you climb in the tower and you shoot 2 targets, one at 88 and one at 91 yards, BC zones. And Becky, this is another funny thing. Becky's like, hey, I know we're competing and stuff, but my knees kind of give me trouble because it's the last stage of the day.
Right.
Would you mind following Tim? I'm like, yeah, no problem. Absolutely. So I got the camera, getting ready to follow Tim. Buzzer goes off. Tim stabs the hay bale. Hay bale, am I saying that correctly?
Hay bale, yes.
Stabs the hay bale, rips off 6 rounds, and then sprints.
Oh,
just
man.
goes off.
Took off.
Tim's fast. He's also
super fast.
15 years younger than me or something. So he takes off, and I've got the camera behind him, and I run behind him, and I never stop running until he stops in the tower.
Yeah.
And he was shooting the whole time.
Yeah. Shooting not on the move, on the run, on the sprint.
Shooting on the sprint, right. And I was like, holy shit, that was incredible.
Right.
But we were also having to do reset and stuff because we had some reset problems with people on our squad, and we were trying to get through. So the other squad, the afternoon squad, could get started.
We've been standing all day.
So I did that sprint, and then I followed you. And then by the time I shot, which I was the last to shoot on that one, I was significantly tired. I'm like, as I was going up that hill at the last, I'm like, man, I shouldn't have followed Tim. Becky totally got me on that one. Well played, Yackley.
Yeah,
Well played.
Well played.
Yeah. So, final funny thing that happened at the match. We stayed at the TPC house.
Oh, yes, we did. Thanks, Ken.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. We were guests of the Tactical Performance Center at the Tactical Performance Center house, which is really cool. Parker got to stay with us, which is awesome. My dog. And our roommate for most of the time we were there was Rasen, the Mad Bulgarian.
The Mad Bulgarian. Very nice guy.
Very cool dude. We
super cool.
Yeah, we got a BS with him for a few hours Saturday night. And
we kept him up way too late for what he had to do the next day.
Sorry about that. But he, really cool dude, very welcoming, gracious, had a great time with him. And then Sunday, the awards and the shoot-off and stuff didn't get done till 8.
Yeah.
And we were thinking, we were planning on going back because we were like, we'll be done shooting in the afternoon.
Yeah, we're going to drive back last night.
We're going to drive back last night to Denver, but we decided, you know what, we don't want to arrive at 3 in the morning. And now that we're driving through freezing rain, I can understand why we didn't do that.
Yeah, it would have been terrible.
It would have sucked. So we talked to Rosin after the shoot-off and everything. I was like, hey, man, do you mind if we stay here one more night? We're kind of thinking we don't want to drive back. We're going to wake up early.
He's like, yeah, no problem. Ron's there also. Ron Avery.
Oh.
Like, oh, cool. Ron Avery of the Tactical Performance Center. Awesome. Maybe we can get him to stay up too late and tell us all his secrets. So, and I had never met Ron. Had you ever met Ron?
No, nope.
So,
I'd never even heard anything about him.
oh, is that right?
No.
Yeah, so Ron Avery's like lead instructor at the Tactical Performance Center. I've heard about him for a number of years because he also either had or has a range in Colorado where he's done training for years and years. And a lot of people in the practical shooting community in Colorado have taken classes from Ron Avery, and everyone raves about it. Says they should do it, right? Says you should absolutely go take a class from Ron Avery. Ron Avery this, Ron Avery that. Andy Peterson sings Ron Avery's praises too because he's taking classes from him as well. Our buddy Craig Outson has some great stories about Ron, and also it's like you got to take a class from this guy. So we get there, and we had left Parker at the house. You know, Ron and Rustin are there. We show up. I take Parker out to do his business, come back in, and I'm like, "Hey, Ron, Dave Hartman," and he shakes my hand. And he's like, "Oh, a dog."
Did he do the same thing as he shook my hand? He just went, Ron. He just said one word.
Well,
Ron.
He actually didn't because I said, "Hey, Ron."
Oh, okay.
So we'll get to your introduction in a minute.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I said, "Hey, Ron, Dave Hartman," and he says, "Oh, a dog." I'm like, "Yeah," and Parker kind of jumped up to greet him. I pulled Parker back because I still had him on the leash, and he reaches down and petted him. He's like, "Oh, you're an excited one." And I was like, "Yeah, he's excited. There's people around." And Ron goes, "People, yes." And then he walked out the front door, and we never saw him again.
A man of few words. And if you've never met him, he's got kind of a gravelly,
Yeah.
voice, and he's just like, people, yes.
Yeah.
And then just walked out. Didn't say, like, I'll be back and heading out to get some dinner, and then they were just gone. We're like, wow, that was really
welcome to beach, fellas.
Yeah, exactly.
Clean up when you're done.
So Dave was walking Parker when I met Ron, and I was like, hey, Wade Jones, and he just goes, Ron. And I was like, I said something, late night or something, and he said, yeah, I just got in myself. And then I said, oh, yeah, where were you? And he says, Colorado, actually. And then that was it. And then he just walked off, and I was like, oh, all right, okay, cool. And then Dave comes in, and he's did you meet after your exchange with him? And you go, so how was Ron? I was like, about like you saw exactly.
I was like, is it okay we stay here? And we just kind of shrugged, like, all right.
I guess we're good.
So, anyway, can't wait to take class from Ron.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Thanks, Ron.
It's
hot in here. It's like 87 degrees on my side.
Buddy.
Killing me.
Well, we're frosting up. I'm trying to.
I know. What's the defroster cranked? How's that work?
Defroster's on, bro.
It's all right now. We're good.
All right.
We're driving through freezing rain right now, so it's getting a little sketch balls.
Yep. We're getting a little sketchy here. I'm scared because I'm sitting in the passenger seat of my own truck.
Yeah, I got you.
Wade's a car driver, so also super aggressive.
I'm fine. These people are just really slow.
No, you're doing great, man.
Did we want to talk about noob stuff since I noobed this one?
Should we talk about noob stuff, or do we want to save that for a noob cast? Let's save that for a noob cast.
Okay, we'll do a noob cast, but remember,
let's do that.
I'll have to remember the noob things.
We will. We've got a list started. We'll write them down here. So,
all right.
Wade, anything you want to add to this Match Recon?
No, I think we covered it. It was a lot of fun. I recommend it, especially if you're new or you have an AK and or both.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun. TPC is an incredible facility for sure.
Yeah.
It's well run. There's a ton of stuff out there. It's just,
they
and
have
if
a
you've
fun
never
atmosphere.
been to southern Utah, it's amazing out there.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah, next time we go, we're going to try to take another day and visit Zion.
Yeah, they're 30 miles outside of Zion, so, I mean, it's just incredible.
Absolutely take 1 or 2 days extra and go visit that.
Be prepared to knock a lot of red dirt out of your shoes.
Yeah, that's why I keep trying to clear my throat and cough in here is this. It was such fine dirt.
Yeah,
that it was like baby powder.
It is, yeah. It's like
red.
It's like flour.
But, yeah, I really like the atmosphere at the TPC. They're all about having fun. They're serious about competition, but they want to make sure it's fun for everyone.
Yeah, everybody's super cool.
Yeah. I'm definitely going back. This match I would absolutely shoot again. Would you shoot this match again?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to shooting it again.
Cool. All right, so that's been another Match Recon episode. Thank you again to the patrons that are supporting this type of work. I always appreciate you. As usual, we get special discounts from Armalite for listeners of the 3-Gun Show. If you're looking for a 3-gun rifle or components to build your own, handguards, gas blocks, muzzle brakes, etc., email me, dave@3gunshow.com. Show notes for this one will be at 3gunshow.com and on the Patreon page. Join us in the discussion. Let us know what you thought. If this is the type of match you'd like to see or want to shoot or looking forward to, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for downloading, listening, and subscribing to the show. I'm Dave Hartman.
And I'm Wade Jones.
And we'll see you on the range.
Thanks.
Hey, before you take off, be sure to check out the show notes at 3gunshow.com for links to things that we discussed in the podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Armalite, the original. Armalite rifles put the AR in AR-15. The rifles themselves come with 1 8 twist barrels, match barrels, 18-inch or 13.5-inch with a 15-inch or 12.5-inch handguard, Timney trigger, Luth AR stock, adjustable gas system, tunable comp, a patented tunable comp. This thing's ready to go right out of the box for a 3-gun with no additional modifications other than putting on a nice optic. I myself use a Vortex Viper PST 1-6 when I'm shooting TAC Ops or their Spitfire when I'm shooting limited. Check them out at armalite.com. A quick reminder that if you enjoyed this podcast, consider supporting the show on Patreon for as little as $5 per month. That's like 3 rounds of 9mm per episode. Patreon.com/3gunshow. That's Patreon.
If you are finished, unload, show clear.